So my name is Dr. Mark J. Smith, and I work at Mission Hills Country Club. And when people ask me what do I do, my title, I call myself as an applied physiologist. I have a Ph.D. in physiology. My background was exercise physiology, and then my doctorate was research in heart disease. I specialize in, within the exercise physiology, is high-intensity interval training, and perhaps even more specific to that, what I would call super maximal interval training or sprint interval training. The other thing that I would say that really finishes off what I do, I was very fortunate to be put on the advisory board for the Tireless Performance Institute back in the early 2000s. I actually came on as a nutrition person, but I quickly became an instructor, I should say, for this high-intensity interval training, which is a big part of the program. Golf is obviously a power sport, and as it became popular with Tiger Woods coming into the industry, everyone started doing these long, slow jogs. They just kind of thought, I get fit for golf, and that's not the approach. So when I was sharing my research and my experience of the super maximal intensity as a sprinter, it made sense to them, and so I incorporated that into it. So my philosophy is very much around prevention. Obviously, here in the desert, we have some incredible healthcare professionals when you are sick, and obviously you're going to go to the appropriate practitioner when that situation occurs. But my job is to try and keep the hospitals less busy. And I've been doing this now a long time, 25, 26 years now. And I love it. You can change lives. They have to sort of buy into what you're doing, and I think having an education and being able to explain to people why I do what I do can help. And then usually they start to feel the results fairly soon, so the motivation is there then. We came and did some seminars in the desert, and I met someone here who was entrenched in the desert, and we connected, and next thing I know, I'm coming out in more regular visits, and then I had the opportunity to start work at Mission Hills Country Club when they were bringing this other colleague in, and he said, hey, I think you could bring in this guy, he could add something. So we chatted, and I moved out here, and that's it. That was in 2006, and over 10 years later, I'm still here. I had great days playing rugby in America. It's a lot bigger than people realize, and I was very fortunate to captain Denver to the national championship in '99, and that was, even though it wasn't professional, it was semi-professional, somehow that was almost maybe more special, because you had guys training just as hard as if they were professional athletes, but in their own time. And that'll always be a very, very fond memory for me. At the end of the day, most of my bread and butter is working with your average person, and I treat them just like I do my professional athletes. The programs might change slightly, but the philosophy and the principle is the same. If I were to close my eyes and say, what do I think of when I see the desert, it's probably right behind me here. When I look out and I see those mountains looking west, especially during the winter when they can be snow-capped with palm trees, beautiful green grass, and the blue skies. I mean, you sometimes have to pinch yourself as I'm just, taking my 2-minute drive in the golf cart to work. I'm like, I live here. A kid from England where it's rainy and cold. I live here. This is awesome.